walk me through how this problem with the sleep happened. She was sleeping well before, and now you're struggling a bit. How did that start?
Exactly. So about a month ago, I don't know if they're related, but I left for like pretty much the first time for the weekend. And it was while I was gone that she started this weird, like, vomiting habit where, like,
Oh,
she just, like, gets really worked up crying and then she starts throwing up. So it was at night. Um, and yeah, like, basically since she was 6 months, we did like a couple nights of sleep training where she cried for like 15 minutes. And then since then, so for the last like year and a half, she's just like, we put her in her pack and play, like do the whole bedtime routine, put her down, she goes to sleep and wakes up in the morning.
and
um,
how is this bedtime routine, and who does it, and what are the steps?
we pretty much do it together, my husband and I, and she takes a bath, we put on pajamas, we read some books, she has her milk, and then we say bye to the milk, brush teeth, read some more books, and then we say Shema, like a Jewish prayer, when she's in her bed, and then like seriously, she would be like bye, good night, like blowing kisses,
Mm-hmm.
like so happy to just like be in her bed, go to sleep. And then I don't know what happened when I was gone, because like he said he put her down and she was fine like when she went to sleep, but then like 5 minutes later she was screaming and he just like let her cry for a little bit, but then she started throwing up, so he obviously went and took care of that. And then when I got back, it happened like the next 2 or 3 nights. Like she just like really didn't want to like separate at the end of the night. And it's like so different now because she's a toddler, so she has like preferences and like more techniques to try and
Mm-hmm.
draw things out, and like more like she's not super vocal, but she says like cuddle, cuddle, like she doesn't want to sleep. And then basically we thought it was like a resistance to the crib, or it's really a pack and play that she sleeps in. Like she would not go in there, and it felt like it was like the walls up were like really um, like a trigger for her or something.
Mm.
So we started just like, it happens that in the room that she's sleeping in, there's a bed, like a trundle bed that pulls out to a mattress on the floor. So we started like cuddling with her there so that she could just like relax and calm down to be able to get her back into like the flow of the bedtime routine to try again. But like even we would get her to sleep and then like dead asleep and transfer her, and the second we put her in the crib, it was like she was newborn again, and she would like pop up and start crying and screaming, and we're like, well, we really can't let her scream because then she's gonna throw up. Right. So we're like, we're stuck. And then eventually we got, I mean, just like the habit that we got into was that we would like cuddle her to sleep in the room, and then the problem is like she's not falling asleep independently, so then when she wakes up at 1 a.m. she's like looking for us again, and then we would wind up bringing her into our bed and sleeping the rest of the night. And she like sometimes, so now like we're gradually like fading out, so we're getting further from her. She still needs us like in the room, it seems, to fall asleep, but we're like against the wall instead of like in her bed.
That's good.
Or like in the doorway now was last night, and we're like, okay, can we get out of her sight? And she pretty much stays in the bed. She's still like, now last night she was up at 3 a.m. And we're just nervous because she can open the door and run around the house. That only happened a couple times.
How many months is she now?
She's 21 months.
So this happened at 20 months. So.
Yeah. Okay. Just like totally forgot how to sleep independently, and naps too. I'm having to like lay down and be in the room with her. And yeah, basically we're trying to decide, like, should we just, so we never really had a crib with her because we've been like so nomadic. But maybe a crib would be different from a pack and play because it's a little bit bigger. Or like, is she
Mm,
too young to really like understand, like you said, to like stay in her bed? It is getting better, definitely. Like,
mm,
it was when I was like backing up toward the door, she was like coming and laying down next to me, and then she would just like fall asleep on the floor or like, you know, random places in the room. Now she's like getting more comfortable staying in her bed to fall asleep.
mm.
But still, like when she wakes up in the middle of the night, she is coming to the door to um, find us,
Okay.
basically.
And you said naps. She also like used to sleep independently, and now she wants to cuddle with you.
Totally.
Hmm. Okay. So it sounds like there was something that happened when you were away that triggered her like separation anxiety. And now she's like, if I go to sleep, I'm gonna wake up and my mom's not gonna be here. And that's scary for her, right? Um, what I told you on Twitter was that, it's completely fine to have a floor bed at this age. The expectation that they stay in by themselves when it's like a new transition is the thing that's not going to be like developmentally appropriate because they just don't have the self control. And it's a new thing for her to have this freedom to be able to seek out someone, and when she's feeling this separation anxiety, now she can do something about it. So she wants to. So that makes sense. So what I would do is like I told you, you could do try this experience of making the room sort of a crib. So she can open the door, but you could like maybe take down the door and put a baby gate in the door frame, um, because it does sound like she doesn't like to be constricted in the crib, even though she did before. And now there's some association with like, I can't get out of this place to seek comfort. Um, so I would experiment with that. And then the other thing that you mentioned of like gradually giving a little bit less, giving a little bit more distance, a little bit more support is exactly right. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Um, she needs, in order to be able to be calm when she wakes up during the night and put herself back to sleep, she needs to be falling asleep by herself. Because if
Right.
she gets used to this habit of having someone to really like co-regulate with as she falls asleep, and then she's going to wake up and she's going to want the same thing. It's just like us. I mean, I don't know if you have this
Totally.
experience like when your husband goes away or something, but you wake up in the middle of the night and you look for the body that isn't there.
Yes.
So it's just the same with them. So we want to move away gradually. If you were, for example, laying down with her and cuddling as she went to sleep, then you want to like sit and just like maybe give her a hand to hold. Try and reduce that stimulus so that she's doing more of the work of falling asleep of regulating and falling asleep by herself. And then it's going to be a little bit tricky now, and you're going to have to be a little flexible because she's also going through this adaptation period at school. Everything is
Hmm.
new. She probably feels like a rekindling of this separation anxiety from being away from you. But I would try to fill her cup as much as possible before bed, of like lots of cuddles, lots of physical contact, um, even like, deep pressure stuff with you so that she really feels that bond. That would really help.
It's
And
helpful.
and about the like falling asleep out of bed, really what you want to do is you want to make the whole room safe, so that if she falls asleep outside of the bed, which she will, then it's okay. Because you're gonna have some nights when she's already able to soothe herself back to sleep, but she's just gonna wander around the room and like touch things and then get tired and fall asleep on the floor. This happens to every single Montessori child. So the best thing you can do, I mean, does she sleep with like a little sleep sack Or
Yeah, she does.
okay.
Is that recommended, or if she's in the floor bed, should we take it off?
No, I would keep it that way so that she stays warm if she gets out of bed, you know?
Okay.
Mm.
Because she does, like, it definitely slows her down. I think in a good way.
No, that's good. I would keep it that way. I mean, if she's like tripping and falling, you could get ones that have little feet. But if she manages
Oh,
fine and
interesting.
just is slower, you can keep it. um, are her floors carpeted or are they wood?
Oh, yeah, it's carpet,
Okay.
but there's a ton of stuff in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we probably need to just get rid of like,
Yeah,
like bookshelves and stuff like that aren't anchored. And that's why
exactly.
we're like really quick to get her when we hear her in the middle of the night.
Yes. So that's a part of it is like if the room was safer and you really felt like she was as if she was in a crib, then
Mm-hmm.
both you and your husband could like relax and be like, can we give her a little bit to solve this?
Yeah.
So I would start there, baby proofing the room and making it as boring as you can.
So no toys or books or anything?
I mean, if you want to keep like two books that she reads with you before bed, and then you just leave them there, or in like a
So
stuffed
like really
animal,
treat it like the crib.
treat it like the crib because you don't want her to wake up in the middle of the night or at 1 a.m. or something and be playing with things. If you want to just like have one stuffed animal or another, that's good. But I would keep it to like her clothes in a dresser that's anchored to the wall, um, and really like make it as boring as you can. If you can, I don't know if she normally plays in her room, but
A little bit.
if there's toys there, I would probably move them to like the living room or another
Different
area.
room. Yeah.
At least for now. There will be a time where she's not going to be waking up during the night anymore, and by then
Yeah.
it's like fine. Um, but for the beginning, as she transitions from this enclosed environment where there's nothing to do but sleep to now having a room and potentially a house, you really need to make it boring.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
um,
That's great. Um, for like this, so tonight, because last night we were like in the doorway, so
mm,
she knows. I mean, we've been like trying to talk to her about it. That like, so I think this is from Precious Little Sleep.
mm,
That like the next night would be just like not visible, like in the door, not even in the doorway, like on the wall on the other side, just like
mm.
talking to her.
With the door closed?
I guess I don't know. I mean, we
Because
could do
she
either.
can walk out of it, right?
Right. I mean, eventually we would have to close the door. But I feel like for her to fall asleep, she would probably freak out if we closed the door if we weren't in there
Mm.
with her.
I mean, I wonder if she's laying on a mattress on the floor and you're just outside of the door talking. Isn't she just gonna
Yeah.
walk over to you? Do you feel like that's not gonna happen?
I feel like that would definitely happen if it were me. My husband's been doing it, and like last
Oh.
night he was in the doorway, and that was fine. Like she
Hmm.
stayed in her bed.
So maybe Dad does the bedtime routine
Yeah,
now.
that's the last few nights has been more successful. If
Okay.
it's me, she just like insists that I'm
Mm-hmm.
cuddling with her, but yeah, that seems to be going better.
Who's doing the school drop off?
It's only been 2 days, so we both went.
Okay. You both
But
went
we could
together?
try.
Same time?
We both went together, yeah. But we could try just having him go tomorrow.
So it's been my experience that it's usually there's exceptions, but usually it's easier for a toddler to separate from the dad. So when I had kind of children who really struggled at drop off, I would recommend like lots of connection time with mom at the house, and then you separate from the mom to the dad, which is already sometimes hard, and then you separate from the dad at school. Um, Maybe try doing that. You need to
For sure.
see if there are any ways in which you can kind of break this association that she has with like letting go of you and then having a stressful experience.
Yeah, I like that. It's more gradual because it is
Mm-hmm.
like definitely easier for her to go with him
Yeah.
or even with her grandparents than it is,
That would be
a
an
stranger
option.
at school.
Yes. And you've been with her at home previously, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a really strong bond that you two have, and she's used to being with you all the time. So we kind of need to give her a little step in between, you
I
know.
like that. Yes.
So
Okay.
I would, if I were you, I would have the dad or the grandparents handle the drop off. And then I would also like do the same thing at night, spend a lot of time with you, cuddling, everything that she likes to do, read books with her or something. And then dad does the last part. We'll try that out. And then you can let me know how that's working and we can talk again, obviously.
For sure. This sounds like a great plan. Lots of connection time. Like we usually do bath before and stories and stuff out here. And then, yeah, just he goes into the room.
Yeah, I would do that. Also, the changes to the room so that you know it's safe when
Yes.
you hear her waking up, and so that she can't actually leave the room. And it's gonna take a lot of, and then you have two options here, which is you can, if she gets up, you can go get her, take her to bed with you. That would be like maybe easier as she's also doing the adaptation period and you don't want to like disturb her too much. But then you would
Right.
have to also break that habit later. It's an
True.
option. Or you could, every time she wakes up and she's calling for you, you go to her room, you get into bed with her again, and you do the same thing of comforting without being in her space.
Right.
And you remind her it's the nighttime, we stay in our rooms, we stay in our beds. I'm going to help you fall asleep, and then I'm going to go back to my bed. Yeah, also not try to be clear about that. You don't want to make her believe that you're going to stay there with her in case she wakes up and doesn't see you.
Right. The sneaking away. Yeah, this makes sense. I think we were sort of hoping that like if we could solve it at bedtime, putting herself to sleep, that she would be able to do the work in the middle of the night, but we definitely need to
it's gonna
make the
happen.
better habits.
It's gonna happen a few times, especially because she has other things going on in her life.
Yeah.
So you have to decide on a strategy beforehand.
Be consistent.
To be consistent. Who's going there and what are they going to do in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to decide basically because yeah, like, do we want to deal with it now or do we want to deal with it later? Deal with it now while we're dealing with everything else, or
how do you feel like letting her come into bed with you in the middle of the night? How do you feel like it would impact you as the parents? How it would impact her? Like, how's that working out?
She sleeps longer when she's in the bed with us, so that's like a lot of what's been driving it. Otherwise, she's up at like 6. When she's in the room with us, we can get her to sleep till like 7:30, which is more in line with when we like to wake up.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to think about it. Shoot, I actually do have to run, but this has been immensely helpful.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. Can I tell you like
things to do?
One last thing.
Yeah.
There are some like white lights, white noise things that you can set a timer, and it will turn a different color, and you can explain to her when she wakes up in the middle of the night, the light is red, we stay in bed, and when the light turns green, it's time to wake up, and you can call mom and dad. So you can use like a visual reminder of that sort. There's lights, there's like some clocks.
The hatch, I think.
Yeah, the hatch has that. Yeah. So you could program it to help give her a cue of when is a good time to get up.
I love that. Yeah, I think she could probably begin to understand something like that too.
I think so. Okay, keep me in touch. Like, send me
Absolutely.
DMs about how it's going, and we can talk
I
again
will.
later.
Thanks so much. We'll talk soon.
You're welcome. Bye bye. See you.